And we have Shai Reshef, who I think, what was it, over a year ago, we met, and Shai was telling me about this amazing idea he had. And I was sort of, that's interesting. And knew that it would be interesting to many people here, combining both online education and collaboration. So it's great to have him here talking. Shai, as you'll see in our framing of this, is founder and president of the University of the People, serves as a high-level advisor to the UN Global Alliance on Information and Communications Technologies, and spent over 15 years as chairman of the Kidum Group, the largest for-profit educational services company based in Israel. So thank you for coming to talk to us. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for inviting me. We need to fit. Why doesn't it work? What? The right for education, clear to everyone, is there and should be there for everyone. It's not a new thing. There is hardly anyone that would argue that it shouldn't be there. However, if we look at the situation at the world these days, and we look at the index of education, we see that if we can divide the world into three categories, and as we all know, the situation in North America and in Western and actually Eastern Europe is much better than in the rest of the world. And if we look at Africa and if we look at East Asia, the situation is pretty poor. Many of the students or many of the kids do not have any education. The illiteracy is high. But if we go in closer and look at the access to higher education, the situation becomes very clear how bad the situation is and how worse it becomes. If we compare the situation in 1970 to today in North America to Africa, we see that 30% was the situation in 1970. It is 71% of the people have access now to higher education, compared to Africa, where it was 1% and now it is 6%. So things are not getting better, they're getting worse. And most of the people worldwide, and if we look all the way to the right, most of the people worldwide do not have access to higher education. The reason for that is very clear. The main reason is that most of the people cannot afford going to higher education. Higher education is expensive in the US and worldwide. It's expensive to the point that the majority of the people cannot afford going to universities. And what goes with it is that government cannot afford building enough university to accommodate the need. So the situation is that in many places in the world, even if you have money, there aren't enough universities. So many people do not have money, but even if they have, in many cases, they cannot go into school because just there aren't enough universities. So in many cases, there are entrance exams, certain percent of the people pass it, goes in, the rest left out with no other alternative. Another reason which is there for people not to attend university is geographical limitations. People live in the village, being accepted to a university, need to leave their family, move to the city, cannot afford doing it because they need to support their families. The poorer they are, that's more common. The situation is more common. And in many other places in the world, there are social issues. In some parts of the world, women tend not to go to colleges, and there are a lot of other reasons for people not to attend universities. We at the University of the People trying to change that. University of the People is the first ever non-profit, tuition-free online university designed to solve this problem, to enable people to attend college tuition-free from wherever they are, with whatever means they have to do that. First of all, we look at those people and we want to enable them to find a better job. We're looking at the majority of the people that do not have access to higher education, and it's clear that if they have an access, they will be able to improve their standard of living. So that's our main goal, to enable people to find a better job. They find a better job, they improve their standard of living, and as a result, their social status. We want this to happen to everyone, no matter where they are, no matter their background, no matter their gender, or any other social restrictions. We believe that by providing equal education, we will enable people to improve their standard of living, but by doing so, we help them, we help their families. The more people we have, we help their communities, their countries, and hopefully have an effect on the world. How do we do that? In order to enable people to study tuition-free, we grab everything that is available on the net and take it, use it free of charge. So we use open source technology, we use Moodle in order to teach our students. All of our courses are open source, and all the reading material for the students, our library is open source as well. We do not hold any IP, we do not buy any IP, and moreover, we do not store anything or prevent anyone from using anything. We also use peer-to-peer teaching or learning. We're trying to use what is developed, the new phenomena that has been developed the last year over the internet, of people willing to share and willing to help each other and bring it into the academia. So our studies is mainly by students teaching and learning from each other, with instructors, our paid instructors, supervising them from the background. We heavily relying on volunteers. We have over 800 professors who jump on board to help us, and this is more than twice the number of students we have at this point. We'll talk about it in a second. We offer two programs. We offer business administration and computer science. The reason for that is very simple. As I mentioned before, we want to help people find a job, and these are the two most needed professions. They are the programs that are more likely that their graduate will find a job. This is one reason. The other reason is that these two programs are culturally neutral. So when you study computer science or business administration in the US, in China, in Nigeria, or in Indonesia, you basically study the same program. And it is important for us to bring people from all over the world together and study with each other. Therefore, we want only programs that are do not have any cultural bias. We announced the program January a year ago. We started admission last April, and we started teaching last September. We teach in terms of 10 weeks. Each term is 10 weeks long, and by now we are done, or actually tomorrow is the last day of our third term, and we start our fourth term Thursday this week. In the first 3 terms, we had 366 active students from over 81 countries. The countries are from all over the world: Indonesia, US, China, Brazil, Vietnam, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia. 81 countries, as I said. Every continent has students, so we are very well spread all over the world. We have more male than female in our program, something that we hope that we will be able to change.